After coaching thousands of players, I have found that meta rank's biggest underlying issue is they simply look at only what's ahead of them and in front of them. They don't bother looking around. If you're a meta rank player, and even if you're not, this one change will help you win more games.
Soldier code, what rank is this? Gold, okay. I can give one general rule of thumb for gold. Meta ranks have a very big issue with awareness. And what I mean by that is they have issue with awareness and positioning. Having issues with awareness and positioning are they're like the worst combo you can possibly think of. So not only they will not pay attention to you, they will also not be able to hide from you using positioning. The way to win on meta ranks is simply create off angles and flanks very often when they don't when they're busy. Well, if you do that, you will win. If you're losing in gold, it means usually one thing. You stand down main too much. Like, for example, when this is happening, could have you walked here and created like some sort of an angle here? I mean, you wouldn't have seen them, but you didn't know that.
Who needs healing?
This is actually a good play. Look, what did I tell you? Gold meta rank players have no awareness and no lack of positioning. You go for a flank, this guy just dies. Exactly as I told you. And the more you do this, the more kills you'll get, the more team fights you win, the more games you win.
Never leave a team behind.
Love this. Unfortunately, there are two things that happened here. Number one, you ran into a dynamite, which is whatever. But the problem is that they already knew you're there. You didn't really disengage. So when you flank, right, and they see you and they like kind of know you're there, you have to understand that if you don't show somewhere else, they have no awareness. They will still think you're there. So if your flank worked or didn't work, go back, show yourself here again, and flank again. Make them believe you're in a different position than where you are. That was a great flank on BAP. What he should have done is go back main and flank again two seconds later down the line. You see, the Ashe still thinks you're there, right? Still worked, good job. Great flanks, really good. I like that you're consistently doing damage. It's a little bit of a risky position, but I like the aggression, man. Good stuff. That's how you learn. I like that you're using a Helix rocket as well. Well, here you're in a big tunnel vision. You're so tunnel vision. Like, how long are you going to shoot him more before you realize, yeah, I'm not getting the kill here? You shot him so many times. He's not dying, man. Just let him be. They're starting to push forward. If the Sigma was half competent, it was like, oh, Soldier's been standing here and shooting forever. Rock dead. He doesn't die, let it go. Let it go. Switch position. Essentially, it boils down to you staying in the same position for too long, and that's why it either gets you killed or you're not finding value. Now you're main again in front of a tank. Main again in front of a tank. Actually, not in front of a tank, not in front of the academy team. Sending down main. Not good. Not good. The only way you're winning, the only reason why you're winning this fight is number one, they just cannot hit a single shot on you for some reason. And number two, your team is just applying a lot of pressure on them. But you were way too far forward, way too much in main, frontlining. All we should have done is done the same thing as they did the first fight. They start pushing in. Boom! Surprise! Could have surprised Diana. Probably kill her. Surprising the Reaper now. And again, so you kill the Reaper here. Your flank route is now open. All you have to do, pop here, amazing. But instead, what do? Run in front of a Sigma. Frontlining and main, down main. At least you're moving here this time. It's a little bit, I wouldn't say too late, but you already missed the opportunity for a flank. You got surprised by a cast.
Meet your fate.
Alright, let's kind of play this through. Hey, how did they win the first fight? Let me see. If I had to guess, you're frontlining main. Yes, you are.
Life protects life.
Tactical visor. I knew you were gonna use it. The reason why you're dead, and the reason why you're not killing anybody with a visor, frontline, main. reason why no one is dying. Chat, what do you think that is? You'd rather let me ask Penguin. Penguin is the guy getting butterviewed. Why is no one dying? Why are you constantly feeling under pressure? Penguin, it's for Penguin. Frontline? No, you're not frontlining here, actually. I mean, your tank is frontlining. Frontlining would be here. You're not frontlining, keeping a distance. Somewhat. I mean, Reaper TP'd into you and you stood in place. Main. What you should have done, let me present an alternative. You see this starting to play out? I mean, you should have even recognized before it even had started. Here. Here you alleviate some of the pressure. You shoot. You see Orisa is getting healed. Sprint over here. Sprint over here, get these guys. As soon as you saw the Orisa is like, you see that she's getting healed, she's not in danger. At first, you had to shoot the enemy so they stopped shooting into Orisa, she wouldn't die. As soon as the Orisa stabilized, that's your cue. Off angle or flank. You have no off angle here, but whoop! Here we go. It looks like all of God's VOD reviews boil down to don't just stand with your team. That's what I said at the beginning, even before the VOD review started. Meta rank problem, they just stay main too much, you don't off angle and flank. And actually, the fight when he looked so good was when he flanked an off angle from a hotel on the right side, the first point. It's pretty good. Good off angle, but he stayed there too long. You shoot, they see you, Reaper's in front of your face, you're in front of a window, that was a little bit too scary. And you double down and you're frontlining again. When you go on a flank, by the way, I want you to understand, when you go on an off angle or a flank and you realize that you're not dying and they're looking at you now and they saw you, just get out. As I explained in the beginning, if they think you're on the flank, if you show them you're on the flank, they're still going to keep looking there. And if they keep looking there, they're going to catch you. So if you pop on a flank and it didn't work, it's fine. Go back to your team, keep shooting, try again 2 seconds later. Frontlining, main. What did I say? You peek, you shoot, you realize this guy's not dying. What should you do, Penguin? Penguin, you there, bro? Stigma is throwing aspirates. Why are you paying attention to me, Penguin, man? What should I do? What did I say? If you go on an off angle or a flank and you shoot and you realize it doesn't work, the people are not dying and they're paying attention to you, you should disengage. Disengage. You're like, it didn't work. Okay, I'm over here now. I'm shooting. Try again 2 seconds later. The problem is when the little amount of times that you do end up flanking and off angling, you are staying there until you get a kill. And most of the time, you're not going to get the kill if they're all paying attention to you with all their cooldowns. So what ends up happening is that you die. Stay too long and die. Flank. Try to shoot. Nobody's paying it. Oh, they paid attention. Now you move out. You learn. Pretty good. But as you can see, you move, you stay, they shoot, and here you stay forever, you stay forever. No, just they see you here, they see you here, you run. Great. They see you here, here. See you here, here. Actually, there's so many instances where you could have just ran forward here. So that would have been a really good alternative, by the way. You stay in the same position for too long. So, in short, what did you learn about Penguin's gameplay? Number one is that he's staying main too much and he's way too close to the enemies oftentimes. But the main issue is that he's standing main. Being too close to enemies is not an issue if they're not looking at you, if they don't know you're there. That exists? That tells me you play main too much, dude. What are you talking? You didn't know that exists? That means you're playing main too much. When people don't know that the areas of map exist, it tells me they're simply not flanking enough. I know every area of every map. You want to know why? Because I flank 24/7, man. Either way, let me just kind of boil down the advice. Number one, stop playing main so much, okay? Try to consistently flank and off angle, okay? Try to attack people where they're not looking. So if the enemies are here looking at your team here, you try this, right? You want to shoot people when they're with their backs to you. And usually when you shoot people when they're with their backs to you, the higher you climb, people are gonna turn around. And when you turn around and they don't die, it means that your flank, I wouldn't say has failed, but it didn't get the kill. Don't try to double down and try to kill them or die. It's okay. I flank, they're not looking at me, I distracted, I disengage. I go back here, shoot a bit. Worst case scenario, I go back here. I pretend to go away and then repeat. Basically, if they see you and you didn't get a kill with the element of surprise, and now when you don't have the element of surprise, you're not likely to get the kill even more. If you don't get the kill with the element of surprise, without the element of surprise, the chance significantly decrease, okay? So it's okay. You didn't get a kill with the element of surprise, disengage, wait a second or two, re-engage. Same thing here. Shoot, they didn't get a kill, disengage second or two, shoot here, re-engage. Constantly rotate from main to flank, from flank to main, from main to flank, from flank to main. Constantly try to surprise the enemies, and if it's not working, don't double down, disengage. That is my advice for you, Penguin. With just that, I can give you my word. If you follow the advice and actually consistently implement it and keep practicing, you will not only get out of gold, you will also get out of plat, which is the higher metal rank. Tracer predicted rank bronze that you started this month to Bliss Beverly. Okay, so you're a new player. First of all, welcome to Overwatch, man. So you're a new player, predicted in bronze. You've been playing for a month. It's like your first placement, or did you play quick play until now? Give us a little bit more context about yourself, man. 12 hours playtime, so you just finished quick play, right? I'm assuming you just finished quick play, and this is like your first getting into competitive. Essentially, it boils down to how can I shoot enemies without them paying attention to me? And sometimes you can think of it in reverse. And what I mean by that is that instead of thinking, how do I shoot enemies without paying attention to me, is rather very simple. I want to shoot enemies when they're not paying attention to me. So what is the simple solution? Let's not be in their face. It's kind of like reverse thinking, right? You don't have to think where you should be, but rather where should you not be? Where should I not be? In front of their face, right? It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, right? First of all, it seems like your sensitivity is a little bit too high. When you move your mouth, it seems like you're out of control. That's just like a first thing that I noticed. Very nice. This is definitely above bronze mechanics. Don't get me wrong, but it seems like your sense a little bit too fast. But I want to show you something. So you know the enemies are here, correct? Yuji, you see the enemies are here, right? They're staring at you, right? They're staring at you means it's scary. Now, because this is bronze, they have very short memory, so they might forget about you, which is exactly what happens now. They just forget about you. It's like looking at a Juno. So if you see that she's scoping over there, where do you not want to be, Yuji? Let's actually kind of play. Let's do this coaching in reverse. Let's flip the thing. Instead of what to do, what not to do. Side. Well, no, what did I establish? You don't want to be in front of their face, right? So when you see Ash standing here, you don't want to be in this area. Where do you want to be? Over here. Why? Because Ash is not staying over here. So you see the Ash is opening up its scope and not staring at you. What do? You walk into her crosshair instead of drift away from her crosshair. I'm not going to even talk about the atrocious position that these guys even have over here. Not sure what they're doing over here. If it was me, they would have been dead 5 seconds ago. But that is all to you, giving you free stuff. So you do understand that if you played against slightly better players, let's say high silver and gold, you would have been dead. Why? Because you've been in front of their face for a long period of time. You almost died here. What do you think is the issue with that play? 2 issues here, Yuji. 2 issues. Number one, the one that we have already talked about. Which one is it, Yuji? What is your position? Overextending. Talk about any overextension. Talk about what is your position. Your position is what? In front of the enemies or where they're not looking? Kind of front, correct? Not kind of. You're in front, not kind of. How is this kind of? How is this kind of front? This is in front, man. In front. This is not kind of. And the second thing is that you just use your recall. So let me ask you a very kind of simple question. What allows you to be so aggressive with Tracer? What get out of jail free card do you have? Recall, exactly. So when you have recall, you can play very, very aggressive because if push comes to shove, you can click the button and all of a sudden you're not dead. I'm not saying you need to play aggressive every time that you have it. There's a time and a place, but it's not something we even need to work with yet because this is bronze. So when you have no recall, it essentially means I can't play super aggressive because if push comes to shove, I will just die because I don't have the means to get away. But the main issue that we're witnessing right now is that you're simply playing way too front of the enemies. Chilling, chilling, chilling. Chilling, 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 but where's the shooting? Here's the shooting. Your sense, first of all, as I said, is way too high, but I'm not gonna worry too much about that. Use surprise. It took you a very long time to start shooting, but you surprise this guy. You surprise Freya. You see Freya is shooting. Are you in front of her face now? Yes or no? Simple yes or no. You started shooting, you weren't in front of her face. She started shooting back. Are you in front of her face? Yes or no? Not at that frame, but if she's shooting at you in front. So what should you do? Not be in front. How could you do that? Blink. You blink here, all of a sudden you're not in front. And you also have cover. You're not using your blink. You're taking 1v1 straight ahead. No blinks, no nothing. And now you have no recall. And you're kind of doubling down. And the problem with doubling down with no recall is that you have no recall. Look, Ashe, boom. That was a good blink. See that? Ashe is looking at you, right? What do? You blink out of her face. And now, she's like, oh, I just saw a ghost. Not paying attention. And then you can kill because you're, most importantly, it's not that you can kill, you're less likely to die. You're not in front of her face. Here, check this out. You see this? Perfect. Perfect. You are attacking Ashe exactly where she's not looking. Why wasn't she looking? Because there was a sojourn in her face distracting. Tracer is about capitalizing on distractions. People are not looking. They're busy. I attack them where they're not looking. Thank you for your content, Danny. It's very helpful. Happy to help you, Lon. So, what should you do right now? Setup. What is it? Setup? Basically, setup is short for I go into a position where I can, when the enemies are not paying attention, I can strike them pretty fast for a position they're not looking. Setup means instead of standing here on point, you go blink, blink, blink. You go over here. Why? Because the enemies are looking straight ahead. And as soon as the team fight begins, they're looking straight ahead, and you're within a second ready to attack them. That is setup. Why do you want to set up? Because as I explained, it gives you basically puts you in a position where you have great timing of when the fight begins and the enemies don't pay attention, aka you can kill them. Number two, it puts you in a position where people can't pay attention to you, or like rather wouldn't pay attention to you because they're not looking that direction. I didn't know that space existed. That's okay. You're in bronze. So I don't blame you. You need to learn the maps a little more. So, love this. Love the angle. But again, so I'll tell you, I like the angle, but it could have been executed better. So you see that when you walk up here, why is this position not as good as this? Is because even though technically you're moving to an off angle, check this out. The Freya still sees you on the screen. You see, she still sees you on the screen, and that's why she's able to deal with you. But if you're over here, she will not be able to see you on the screen no matter what, unless she turns around. But why would the Freya randomly turn around over there, right? I like that you kind of create an angle. At least this is pretty good. You miss every shot, but it's normal. It's bronze. I like that you try to pulse as well. Very good. Why did you almost die? You recalled, and then you were in front of her. As soon as you recalled. Hello? What is that? See what I mean? When I say lack of awareness, you see what I mean? But you see, there's another problem here. You surprise the enemy. Amazing, great. You realize she turns around. What should you do? Blink behind where she's not looking. And then attack. You understand? They're looking, use your blink to get away from their screen. Every time they look at you, use your blink to get away from the screen. Either blink to the side or behind them. Let's just keep rolling this. I want to see. I want to show you more examples. Shooting tank here is okay. Now opportunity opens up, which means you can go. I like that you're blinking to cover. This is really good. Cover to cover is really good. But you see, people are fighting. When people are fighting, you don't have the luxury of crouching. In the middle of the fight, you need to be shooting. People are fighting. You don't have to. You can't just be walking around fast. You notice that somebody over here not paying attention, you flank, great. Good for paying attention to that, but you can't be walking slowly. Just double blink, move in. Love this, love this. Look, mwah, mwah, look at this guy. This is not bronze, man. You're ready for champ. You're ready for the big leagues. Good job. You're shooting at your teammates, but that's okay. Can I gift 5 subs for a body? Yeah, but there's people in queue. I think you're 5 gifted, I just did. I think you're 5 gifted. So, what are you forgetting about here, Yuji? What are you forgetting about here, Yuji? Number 1, do you think you're putting yourself in a position where you can surprise the enemies where they're not looking within 1 second of a team fight starting? Or you sit down main waiting for, I don't know, where people are looking and really, really far away from them? Trying to get a pick. There's no pick here, man. There's no pick here. When the fight is over, what you want to do is set up. How do I explain setup? Is you put yourself in a position where you can attack the enemies from a position they're not looking when they're busy within a second. Okay, I don't know which spot to set up. If the payload is here and it's moving up, it means that the fight is going to be somewhere around here. Why? Because they're going to stop the payload around here. If they stop the payload around here, usually it means the enemies will be over here. Or be a good position for you to set up. Pretty straightforward. You sit over here, you wait for a team fight to start, then you go. I don't know the layout of the map. In order to know the layout of the map, you have to just walk around the map. Ask yourself, the fight is over. Let me go over here. Or can I hide here until the team fight starts? Okay, so in short, what did we learn, Yuji? Number 1, before fight starts or when the fight is over, what you should do is be looking to set up. What is set up, as I explained like 4 times this VOD, but I'm going to repeat it because it's important. It's a position that you take before the fight so you can attack the enemies from a position they're not looking when they're busy within a second window. Team fight starts, should be able to strike almost immediately. In that instance, it would be here, here, or here. So that's what you do when the fight is over. You don't push the payload, you don't do any of that stuff. Number 2, which is the most important thing for you across all meta ranks. As you notice, they don't really pay attention. They don't pay attention to anything here. They just look ahead and hope for the best. Which means that as long as you're not in their face on their screen, you're going to be doing great. Every time you see somebody's looking straight ahead, you go into a position where they're not looking and attack them. Okay? If a diva sitting here, looking here, you attack her from here, which is what you did. You see an Ashe standing here, shooting here, you attack her from here, which is great, what you did. In the middle of the fight, they will be turning around. When they turn around, they're now looking at you on the screen, which you back to step number 1. You leave their screen. How? With a blink. Ashe here, you shoot from here, she turns around, you blink here. Because she can't see you on the screen anymore. See you on the screen, you blink again. Behind her, to the side, whatever it may be. And that is essentially how you leave bronze. And let me clue you in. That's how you leave meta ranks in general. 3 is just a small tip for me. It seems like your sensitivity is way too high. Choose between 4 and 6 on 800 DPI. This will be really good for you, in my opinion. It's what's comfortable for most people. It can be a little bit higher, a little bit lower, but I recommend usually higher senses on faster paced games. So I wouldn't go below 4. But if you want to put 7, I wouldn't hold the gun against you, man.